I'm not at home, but I just saw the news and I had to make a video about the Hulkster. R.I.P. Hulkamania. I guess maybe Hulkamania doesn't die. So everyone, everybody's talking about it, but I just wanted to make a video saying I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. I hated Hulk Hogan. When I was a kid, when I got into wrestling, it was probably like early 90s ish. And my favorite was the Macho Man, Randy Savage. I still do, I still love the Macho Man. And after that, probably Ultimate Warrior. After that, probably Jake the Snake Roberts. And then time went by, and then it was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. But Hulk Hogan always won. And I always thought he was so cheesy. But all the crap he gets, I wouldn't watch him now. I still watch Suburban Commando, but I loved his movies. Hated him. Loved Thunder in Paradise. Loved Mr. Nanny. I watched that again. That sucks. And Suburban Commando's got this nostalgia thing for me. I bought it on Amazon Prime. And it's hard to watch, but I still put it on as background noise every now and then. But I just was never a fan. My buddy, I had a Sting doll when I was a kid, like one of those buddies. And I think he had a Hulk Hogan one and an Ultimate Warrior one or something. And I had a Sting and a Macho Man one. I just never got into Hulkamania. I wasn't into Hulk Hogan until the NWO. And I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. But before that, he was cheesy. He always won. Like I didn't get like, it was also, I went back and watched it because I was so he wasn't born, I guess. Yeah, at the time. But when Hulk Hogan, I went back and watched WrestleMania 3. I think Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage still adds up. There still stands up to this day. That's a great match. Hulk Hogan versus Andre, maybe because I already knew. I just didn't get it when I was a kid. That was around the time I was watching Bret Hart versus Davey Boy at SummerSlam '92, and I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. Until he became like a nostalgia act, just popping back. And when he had his WrestleMania match with The Rock, that was awesome. I loved it. And then that next Monday, when he got like a 10-minute standing ovation, I remember I watched it that night, and like it was cool. I got it then, but as far as like, I just was never really into Hulkamania. But I was a big wrestling guy, and it was like nobody. It wasn't cool to like wrestling, maybe until Stone Cold. So I always kept to myself. But people knew who Hulk Hogan was, and it just, And then obviously his last Monday Night Raw appearance, which was hilarious. He went on Ariel Helwani's show, was talking about, yeah, they booed me because I was a bad guy. It's like, you weren't. That's not why. That's not why they booed you, buddy. And maybe he actually didn't get it. I don't know. But, it sucks because his daughter, who was hot, had a grandbaby. He got to be a granddad. And it's crazy that he was 71 and he died. And Ozzy Osbourne was older than him. When Ozzy died, I was like, that was a hell of a run. I got to go see Ozzy. He Slash opened for him in like 2010 or 2011 or something like that. But the guy went hard, And then I'm sure Hulk Hogan, all the, but he'll leave behind a very, very confusing legacy. Like now when somebody dies, everybody says they love them and how amazing they were. But it's going to be tainted because like going on Arsenio Hall in the early 90s, the steroid trial, and then, you know, the denying taking steroids. And then Randy Savage went on there and was like, yeah, I've taken steroids before. That was it. And it was over. And it wasn't legal. It wasn't illegal at the time, I don't think, when they were taking it. To the Gawker, the sex tape, racial stuff. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be, I think he's got to be the GOAT because of how long he lasted, what he did for the industry, really took it mainstream. But it's going to be interesting to see maybe in a couple of years what his legacy is. He'll never be forgotten, but will it be, he'll move down the list and it'll be Stone Cold, John Cena, The Rock, maybe Roman Reigns, and they'll just kind of, you know, I don't know. But I just had to make a video because he was the man. He was the man, and he's got a family, and that sucks. That really breaks my heart. He's got to be a granddad, and I'm not a granddad, but that's pretty cool, you know? And yeah, that's gonna, maybe all that bad stuff washes away now that he's passed on, you know? All that negative publicity that has been surrounding him for so long now